Alright, I got the rotor bolted to the hub, got the caliper strapped to the rotor temporarily, so I've got some idea of where it's going to be at. When I measured this gap in here between where the spindle and the caliper are actually going to set once the rotor's in place, that gap comes out to be 1 inch. So what I've done is taken a couple pieces of wood, cut them down to 1/2 inch, by about 1.25 inches. What I'm going to do is use these to make a template for my caliper mount. It's a lot cheaper than screwing up pieces of steel. I'm going to take the shorter piece, make it so that it mounts to these 2 points, and the longer piece has to be trimmed for clearance so that it can be bolted to those 2 holes, and then set it up inside of there, and I'll be able to position it up, down, in and out just a little bit, because right now I've got the caliper strapped tight to that, so it'll be dragging on there. And once I get the position and everything figured out with these, then I can make them out of steel, and hopefully this will work. Don't know until we try. So in order to mount the brakes on the inside, I've got to machine these off flat. Set myself up a jig on my little mill lathe machine. I've already cut this one. Sound of that, my bit's starting to get a little bit dull. I'd say this is probably done. About one more pass. Got all of the machine parts back together here. Got my pattern for my inside caliper mount. The holes through this will be drilled out, and this side will have the threads in it when I make the part out of steel. There's the mock-up for the mount on the caliper side. Set this camera down for a second. That's seated all the way on there. That's what it looks like together. Brake hat's all the way seated down on the hub. It'll be right like that when it's done. Here's the wooden parts that I made to figure out how to make the steel parts. Steel parts complete with threads cut in them. Spindles have both had the holes drilled out. There's the spindle side of the caliper mount mounted to the spindle, and the caliper side of the mount. I left this a little long because that's going to be where my steering stop welds onto. So today I'm going to end up with a mounted caliper. I clearance those so that when the bolts go through, I won't have to just depend on, you know, that much thread bite. I'll be able to go all the way through with threads. This is what it was before. What I did to get that clearance, you saw how I had it all jigged up in the previous part. Bolted it on there, tack welded it top and bottom just like it's tack welded now, same spots, and then marked those, clearanced them. These are just what I grabbed a hold of for bolts, not going to be the bolts I use. Yep, Pontiac Feiro spindles with big vented disc brakes. Well, bigger than what they ever had before. Snug the bolts up a little bit, and we have a brake caliper mounted finally. Got a couple spaces in there. Like I said, these aren't the bolts I'm going to use.